By the end of this century, I hope that hundreds of thousands of people will have had the chance of becoming astronauts. If you go back 100 years, if people could have dreamt that, we'd all be sitting here today talking about the things we're talking about, I think they would have thought it was science fiction.
What's up, guys? In this video, I'm covering the only pure-play space company on the market today, and that's Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. This video will benefit you greatly whether you're brand new to Virgin Galactic and you haven't done any research on them, or even if you already have a very good understanding of Virgin Galactic. I'm going to be covering some very key points in this video that you probably don't know about, and it's extremely important to know. I hate to say this because I am invested in Virgin Galactic, but I was doing some research all day yesterday into the company, and I found some pretty key risks associated with the business. And I haven't heard any YouTubers talk about this risk before, so I don't think you guys probably know about it, but it is very real, and I will be talking about these risks towards the end of the video, so stick around. It's definitely worth your time if you already invested in Virgin Galactic or you're thinking about investing in them. Before I get into this video, guys, I spent about 10 hours doing this research yesterday, and so if you appreciate that, please drop a like on the video. It really helps out the channel, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more Virgin Galactic content. I'll be uploading Virgin Galactic videos every week and covering time-sensitive news in the future. Okay, so I'm going to break up this video in 3 different parts. Part 1 is going to be an overview of what the company does, its plan for more spaceships and hypersonic travel, and its potential market cap if successful. In part 2, I'm going to be talking about its management team, and honestly, this is one of the most impressive management teams I've seen in any company I've researched. So stick around. I'm going to be covering why this is such a special management team, and how I definitely think this management team has the capabilities to bring Virgin Galactic's vision to reality. Part 3 of the video, I'll be covering the risk versus reward when investing in Virgin Galactic. And Virgin Galactic is no stranger when it comes to risk. After all, they are a space exploration company. This hasn't been done before, but it's not just that. Yesterday when I was doing my research, I found a new risk that I actually haven't seen before. And trust me, I research this company all the time. I've been investing in them for a few months now, and I haven't actually seen any YouTubers or anybody talk about this risk that could possibly really affect the share price in the future. So I encourage you to stick around until the end. I think this is really worth your time, and if you appreciate this kind of research, again, please drop a like on the video. That's all I ask. Okay, so because this is a full analysis video on Virgin Galactic, I'm going to briefly cover what they do. So their vision is to bring space tourism to life. So what this means is that starting hopefully early first quarter of 2021, they're going to be sending paying customers to space. Now, these tickets are expected to be $250,000, and they'll send up about 6 customers at a time. So it's for the ultra wealthy. And there is actually significant demand in this market. You'll be surprised. I'll show you some of that demand later in this video through some research. So if you are lucky enough to have a chance to go up to space with Virgin Galactic, this is what your experience is going to look like. After 3 days of training and preparation at Spaceport America, Virgin Galactic astronauts will board Spaceship 2 early in the morning. You're dressed in custom-fitted suits and fully equipped to fly. After a conventional runway takeoff, the vehicles will climb to an altitude of 50,000 feet. At that point, the spaceship will be released from the aircraft and enter a gentle glide. That gentle glide doesn't last long, because within seconds, the rocket motor will be fired and the spaceship's nose pitched to a near vertical climb. A surge of energy will produce acceleration forces of around 3.5 G and propel the spaceship to speeds approaching 3.5 times the speed of sound towards the black sky of space. This sounds absolutely terrifying, but so much fun at the same time. I really hope there's enough brave, rich people in the world to take on this experience. So at the moment they enter space, the pilots will shut the rocket motor off, immediately allow those on board to leave their seats for several minutes of true, unencumbered weightlessness, and you'll be able to view Earth from space. So you get about 9 minutes in space, which isn't very long, but I believe the whole experience is actually 3 days. You go to Spaceport America, they train you, you're there for a couple days, and then the actual flight process, I think, is about 2.5 hours of preparation, and then flying up, entering space is about 9 minutes, 10 minutes. and then that's your experience. So in a nutshell, that is what the space tourism side looks like and the experience that a paying customer will get. Now to get into some numbers, the ticket price is set to be about $250,000. However, as you can see in this article, Branson has said that ultimately he would like to see the price fall as low as $40,000 over the next decade. So this would obviously expand their market opportunity massively, and as an investor, I definitely hope that this happens. And there's already a list of 700 celebrities and scientists desperate to get a chance to board the spacecraft, including Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Lady Gaga, Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm pretty sure Justin Bieber is on this list as well. And if you can imagine, as a speculative stock, with news like that, if these celebrities actually do go up to space, I think the stock price will be quite happy. So right now, about 600 people who've actually placed reservations to go to space. And to do this, you can go on their website and you have to pay a refundable deposit of $1,000. So obviously some people could cancel, but I think after the first few flights actually do take off and hopefully they're successful, nobody gets hurt, then I hope that will encourage more people to put their name on the list to go. I think one of the biggest hesitations for most people now is that it hasn't been done before and how safe is it? But Richard Branson, the founder of this company, is going to be the first one on the flight. So it does help consumer confidence when the founder of the company is willing to go up there himself. So with a ticket price of $250,000, Virgin Galactic believes that'll be a market opportunity of 2 million potential paying customers. Now, so in my opinion, they're gonna have unlimited demand over the next 10 years, and then as they bring their costs down, that demand will just forever expand. Some investors are worried about demand, as people really pay that. I don't see demand being actually an issue. They're going to be able to bring these costs down and it'll just keep on pushing more market opportunity. And for the ultra wealthy, $250,000 really isn't that much. They spend that much on simple things like watches and suits and stuff. So in my opinion, not worried about it. So what kind of revenue can you expect from this? Well, it's estimated that space tourism has a potential market of $3 billion a decade from now. But the space tourism isn't actually where the full potential of this business is. So let's get into that. So hypersonic travel, this is what has so many investors excited, like Kathy Wood from ARK Invest, and even just retail investors like myself. So hypersonic travel is essentially a very, very fast plane that can take a 10-hour flight and reduce it to 90 minutes. And this is going to tackle the private jet market. And in the private jet market, it says here, we will be able to directly disrupt a 300+ billion revenue business for the airlines. So 300 billion, that's 300 billion recurring revenue every year that they're going to try to disrupt with this supersonic aircraft. So obviously this is significantly higher than the space tourism side of the business. But just looking at the opportunity here, if they're able to actually succeed with space tourism, it's going to open up a lot more opportunities with NASA, potentially space mining. There's a lot of ideas getting thrown around. So Virgin Galactic definitely has a lot of potential going for it. Okay, so in part 2, I'm going to briefly cover what their management team looks like, and I gotta say, this is the best management team I have seen in any business, and I really do mean that. So the founder of this company is Richard Branson. He founded the Virgin Group in the 1970s, which controls more than 400 companies in various fields, mostly known for the Virgin Airlines. And Richard Branson's net worth is around $4.4 billion, so he has lots of money to fund this business, which is great, even though his airlines are being hard hit from the pandemic, which really isn't the greatest situation, but the guy still has money, so it's still a positive for Virgin Galactic. So when Virgin Galactic was first brought public, it was through a SPAC, and that was Chamath Palihapitiya's SPAC. Chamath Palihapitiya is also a billionaire, and he's made many great investments in his times. If you don't know who he is, he's pretty well known in the investing community and very well respected. He was one of the first senior executives on Facebook. He really helped create Facebook to be what it is today. So this is really reassuring when an investor like Chamath is confident in Virgin Galactic. And then the third person I'm going to talk about on the management team is George Whitesides. His current position is Chief Space Officer in Virgin Galactic. So George Whitesides served as NASA Chief of Staff for Administrator Charles Bolden. So before Virgin Galactic, George actually worked for NASA, and is probably a big reason why Virgin Galactic was able to score a partnership with NASA. So to sum up the management team, you have the founder, who's Richard Branson, who's a billionaire and serial entrepreneur, and you have Michael Kogleiser, who's the CEO. He used to work for Disney, and the reason why he was brought into the company is because this is a space tourism company, and they want to make it as entertaining as possible. So I think they have probably the best guy for that job now. And then not only do they have Michael Kogleiser working on the entertainment side of the business, but they moved George Whitesides into the space side of the business, who has previous experience with NASA and is really the most qualified guy you could have for this position as well. And the cherry on top is Chamath Palihapitiya, a big-time investor. He's put hundreds of $millions of his own money investing in Virgin Galactic as well. So in my opinion, this is just an all-star management team. So the reward with this company could be huge. They're attempting to disrupt a $300 billion market with hypersonic travel and a potential $3 billion market with space tourism. If they succeed, I could see this being a $1 trillion company one day. As the space economy grows, more opportunities will arise for Virgin Galactic. Maybe they'll get more contracts with NASA, and I even heard rumors of space mining. However, here comes the risk. So looking here, the company said it expects to have a fleet of 5 Spaceship 2 space planes by 2023, a production rate of 1 per year. That would allow the company to generate positive earnings by 2021, growing to $274 million by 2023, assuming commercial operations start in June 2020. Obviously, that didn't come true, and their operations are expected to start in the first quarter of 2021 now. However, the key thing I want you to note out of this, they're expecting to have 5 Spaceship 2 aircrafts. Now that might look like a positive, and it is in the long term, but in the short term, they're going to need a lot of cash to actually make these spacecrafts, and that's where the big risk comes. So the costs are insane to make these spacecrafts. So Spaceship 2's total development costs were estimated at around $400 million in May 2011, a significant increase over the 2007 estimate of $108 million. So it cost them $400 million to make one of these spaceships. Now they have 2 of these in operation right now, so they need 3 more. So it's about $1.2 billion they need, where right now their balance sheet has about $750 million on it, and they're burning through about $60 million each quarter. So they need a lot more cash to actually meet that goal of 5 aircrafts in the next 2 to 3 years. In order to get that cash, you either need to take on more debt or you need to dilute shareholders. They just recently diluted shareholders for about 20%, which raised about $350 million. So I think it's kind of expected that we're going to be seriously diluted for the next few years. And this was something I didn't actually take into consideration when I first invested into Virgin Galactic. So if you are an investor in them, just expect some serious possible dilution or more debt. And number 2, the second biggest risk I see is obviously a crash. So in 2014, Spaceship 2 crashed and killed one of the pilots. So as you can imagine, if there is another crash, this would just tank the stock, and this would also really affect the business. Demand would completely plummet, and honestly, this company might just never be what it could be if it does experience another crash. So I'm really hoping that they do have that figured out since 2014. And so yeah, you got to put that trust in this company that they know what they're doing. Okay, so that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you found this informative and actually learned something. Comment down below if you knew about how much it did cost to make these spaceships and the possible dilution in debt that is going to occur in order to make 5 spaceships happen by 2023. For myself, this is another risk that I got to take into consideration now, but I already am invested, so I will keep my shares in Virgin Galactic, but maybe I'll be a bit more hesitant on how much I actually want this to be a part of my portfolio. So yeah, if you learned something, please drop a like on the video, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you in the next video.